If you could see a statistic above everyone's head, what statistic would you choose to see? It's interesting. The title says a statistic, not a number. I'd say that I'd go with, how effective will be the communication approach I'll try? It gives me information before the attempt. I can cycle through different hypothetical approaches and see how those affect the number. I can vary the goal of said hypothetical interaction to deduce important information of their personality. It'd basically be limited social precognition. An alternative is truthfulness of what I'm thinking about them. But I'm sure there are better options. Percentage of likelihood to have sex with me if I just outrightly asked. I mean, there'll be a lot of zeros. I'd imagine being in a bar and seeing at least 100, or percentages going up the drunker they get. Then there's the gamble aspect, like see a 50 and taking a chance by asking. Also, it gives an indication on how attractive you are. Imagine a work colleague who is always a low 10. But then you get your hair done and good clothes, and seeing it go up a little. Compatibility. The number changes based on who sees the number. It goes from 0 avoid at all cost to 100 soulmate works for both men and women, and is a base compatibility value. So you see some handsome guy, but he's got a 20 over his head. And over there in the corner is a chubby nerd with a 88. Go talk to the nerd. See a hottie with a 75. Go talk to her. See some hobo with a 95. A new pal. Screw it. I choose the high 50 meter. I wanna see who has the highest score on the planet. And then if I see people with particularly low scores, I can go up to them and give them a crisp high five. Also ideally if it tells me how long it's been since that person last did a high five. Then I can really be sure to dispense high fives to the needy. Whether or not they're okay. Like 100 would be perfect, unrealistic I know, and zeros like suicidal, or on the verge of death or something. It would help a lot because you'll ask people how they're doing and they feel like they can't be honest, for fear of being judged and all that. Compatibility is a nice one someone mentioned, but I'd have it work for both friendship and relationship. Plus, if it changes over time, you can know that something is happening, and you might be able to do something about it. And I assume this is something only I can see. An empathy score. People are still free to be who they are, support who they like, vote how they feel. But don't pretend like you're not a selfish asshole when the number is right there for everyone to see. Level of interest in me. And I don't just mean romantically. It would be super useful in conversations to tell whether you're boring people, but they're too polite to do anything. Their actual alignment based on their actions, not on what they say, or whatever delusions they have about themselves. Knowing if someone is evil would be genuinely useful. Miles traveled by bicycle, and or maybe miles traveled on foot. I couldn't care less about driving. Odometer lookup suffices for me. Number of reposts made to Reddit because they were too unintelligent to come up with anything original. Yeah. Still craved attention. I want to see a form that change color depending on the mood of the person to see who Morgan Freeman is playing at the moment. A loyalty scale. One of the most valuable attributes in life. Whether it be work, friends, loved ones, or simple associates. They're at this level, so I could go and be their friend. I've always wished I had the ability to make people not feel alone. If it's just one number, I'd pick number of lies told. Then I'd know if a person is lying if their number increases. Their most unappreciated success, and then it'd get notoriety and appreciation, thus changing to a different one. The number of brain cells they have left. I want to know if the person is actually stupid or just pretends to be. Are they an introvert or extrovert? Would be interesting to me. Or yet FOMO or JOMO. Stuff like that. The number of times they return a shopping cart to the correct spot over how many times they didn't. How many times they've told someone a secret that they promised their friend they wouldn't spread. Percent chance that starting a conversation with them will somehow result in bettering my life. Body count. No, not sexual partners. That how many people they've murdered. Number of murders they have yet to commit for the remainder of their life. How many times the person thought he was right but was actually wrong. Their preferred gender pronouns and either if they're normal or queer. How many licks it takes them to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. How horny that person is for me. I guess I will learn nobody is ... The amount of fucks I give about their opinions. Permanently zero. Net worth. Not because it would be useful, but because I'm nosy. Whether or not they wash their hands after using the bathroom. Body count. You know, something like Teddy Bundy body counts. Level of attraction to me. Because it would be amusing.